Good morning. Today our lesson is about multiplying and dividing fractions. As we said before, the number at the top is the numerator and the number down is the denominator. 7 over 8 is a proper fraction because 7 is less than 8. The numerator is less than the denominator. While 9 over 7, since the numerator is bigger than the denominator, it's called improper fractions. 2 and 3 over 8, we have a whole part and a fractional part, so it's called a mixed number. In multiplying fractions, we start to multiply first the numerators, and then you multiply the denominators. Then the final answer, if you can simplify it, you simplify, you cancel the fractions. For example, 6 and 12, both of them are divisible by 6, so the answer will be 1 over 2. Now, as we said, to multiply fractions, we start by multiplying the numerators and then the denominators. 2 times 3 is 6, over 5 times 4 is 20. To give you, and then you simplify by 3 over 10. Now the second one, 1 times 2 is 2, 6 times 5 is 30. You can say 2 over 30. And then you simplify to give you 1 over 15. Other students will prefer to cancel before finding the answer. Later we are going to speak about it. And then we apply the same method to multiply fractions and integers. Because an integer or a whole number has 1 as a denominator, so we will say 12 times 5 is 60 over 6, which is 10, the final answer after canceling down or simplifying. Now, all of these are exercises about multiplying fractions with whole numbers. 3 times 6 is 18, and down 4 times 1 is 4. So it will give you 18 over 4. It's improper fraction, so we convert it into a mixed number. 18 divided by 4 is 4, and the fraction is 2 over 4 because the remainder is 2. Then you will notice that 2 over 4, we can simplify it again to give you 1 over 2. So the final answer is 4.5. And the others are solved by the same method. When you have to multiply mixed numbers, you can't say, for example, 2 and 2 over 5 times 1 over 2. You can't say it's equal to as a whole number, and 2 times 1 is 2 over 10. It's wrong, because to multiply mixed numbers, you have to convert first into improper fractions. So 2 times 5 is 10, plus 2 is 12 over 5. You convert it first into improper fraction, and then you will solve. And then you will say 12 over 10. Then you can simplify by 2. It will give you 6 over 5, which is 1, and 1 over 5 as a mixed number. Here are more exercises to multiply mixed numbers. As we said, you can't multiply mixed numbers until you convert it into improper fractions. 1 times 4 is 4, plus 1 is 5 over 4, and then you start multiplying. 5 over 4 times 2 over 7 is 10 over 28, and then you can simplify. Same for the other exercises. Now, other students will prefer to cancel and simplify fractions before solving. We took this method before, especially we took it when we were calculating percentages in term 1. So we say 3 and 6, both of them can be divisible by 3. So 3 divided by 3 is 1, 6 divided by 3 is 2. While 5 and 15, both of them can be divisible by 5. So 5 divided by 5 is 1, 15 divided by 5 is 3. Then you find the final answer. 1 times 1 is 1, 3 times 2 is 6. So to cancel, we have to divide the top and the bottom numbers of a fraction by the same number. It will make calculations easier for you. Now let's solve in both methods. Let's simplify before multiplication. When you simplify before multiplication, 5 and 25, both of them are divisible by 5. 16 and 8, both of them are divisible by 8. So when you cancel 5 by 20 and 25 by 5, you will get 1 up and 5 from the 25. 16 divided by 8, the 2 is left up. So 1 times 2 is 2. And 1 times 5 is 5. You will get 2 over 5. If you didn't do like this, you are going to do a lot of multiplications. You are going to say 5 times 16 is 80. 8 times 25 is 200. And then you will start by simplifying to get 2 over 5. So it will take more time than simplifying before multiplication. Now let's do canceling after multiplication. You will start to multiply 7 times 16, 112. Then you are going to multiply 12 by 49 to give you 588. So you are going to waste too much time in calculating larger numbers. And then you have to divide to find what is suitable to divide, to write it into this in the simplest form. Instead doing all of this, we can cancel or simplify before multiplication. When you look at 7 and 49, both of them are divisible by 7. So you can cancel these and divide by 7. 7 divided by 7 is 1. 49 divided by 7 is 7. 16 and 12, both of them are divisible by 4. 16 divided by 4 is 4. 12 divided by 4 is 3. So then you calculate 1 times 4 is 4. 3 times 7 is 21. So which one was easier for you to calculate? To cancel after multiplication or before multiplication? Now, how do we divide fractions? 1 over 2 divided by 3 is equal to 1 over 6. How did we get this answer? Figure out how to get this answer. Okay, first, you have to change division into multiplication. Then the number which is the divisor, which is after the division sign, you write its reciprocal, which is the reciprocal of a 3, which means you turn it upside down. 3 over 1 is 1 over 3. So 1 over 3 is called the reciprocal of 3. Then you will say 1 over 2, instead of division you will write times, and instead of 3 you will write 1 over 3. 1 times 1 is equal to 1. 2 times 3 is equal to 6. Now let's solve more exercises about dividing fractions. Let's solve more exercises about dividing fractions. As we said, 3 over 4 stays the same, while division becomes multiplication. And instead of saying 1 over 3, we use its reciprocal, which is you turn it upside down to become 3 over 1. So 3 times 3 is 9 over 4. And then 9 over 4 is a mixed number. You divide 9 by 4, you will get 2, and the remainder 1. So the final answer will be as a mixed number 2 and 1 over 4. 4 is the same. Denominators don't change between improper to mixed numbers. And let's do one more exercise about division. 2 over 5 stays the same. Division becomes multiplication, and we use the reciprocal of 1 over 4. We turn it upside down. Instead of 1 over 4, it becomes 4 over 1. So 2 over 5 times 4 over 1 becomes 8 over 5, and then you divide to get 1 and 3 over 5. Do the other exercises by yourself and check your answers to make sure that you are solving right. The same thing when you are dividing fractions and whole numbers. Don't forget whole numbers. The denominator is 1. 8 over 1 divided by 3 over 5. Then you solve it normally. You change the dividing a fraction upside down and then you multiply the numerators and denominators. You will get 40 over 3 by division. 40 divided by 3 is 13 and 1 is left. So the answer will be 13 and 1 over 3. Now the same thing, 3 over 5 divided by 8. 8 means it's 8 over 1. You will solve it normally as a 3 over 5 times 1 over 8. You will get 3 over 40. It's proper fraction, so we don't change it into mixed number. It can't be changed. Now here are more exercises. I will solve the first one and then you can solve the others by yourselves. I will post the answers to make sure that your answers are correct. 6 divided by 2 over 3 is 6 times. Then you invert 2 over 3 into 3 over 2 to become 18 over 2, which is divisible to be 9. And then solve the others. Here are the answers. Now dividing mixed numbers, the same as we did in multiplication. First you change into improper fraction. It will be 12 over 5 divided by 1 over 2, and then you will turn upside down the other fraction and change division into multiplication to become 12 over 5 times 2 over 1. It will give you 24 over 5. It's improper fraction. You can change it into mixed number to be 4 and 4 over 5. Here are other examples about dividing mixed numbers. We change them into improper fractions. 1 times 5 is 5 plus 4 is 9 over 5 divided by 1 over 3. We invert 1 over 3 to become 3 over 1 and we change it into multiplication. 9 times 3 is 27 over 5 and then we divide because it's improper fraction. 27 over 5 is 5 and the remainder is 2. So we put 2 as a numerator, but the 5 stays the same. It's the denominator. You can solve the others. Here are the answers. Make sure that you are solving right. As you can see here, if you divide a larger fraction by a smaller one, the answer will be more than 1. For example, 3 over 4 divided by 1 over 8 means 3 over 4 times 8 over 1. 3 times 8 is 24. 24 divided by 4 is 6, like these drawings. So as if you are saying how many 1 over 8 are in 3 over 4, you will say it's 6. Now, as a summary, we are going to say how to multiply fractions. As we said, first you can multiply, then reduce, or reduce, then multiply. 1 over 4 times 2 over 3. 1 times 2, you multiply the numerators first, and then the denominators to get 2 over 12, and then you simplify it into 1 over 6. You simplified it by 2. Now, in division, you have first to flip the second fraction to write its reciprocal. For example, 2 over 3, it will be changed into 3 over 2, and instead of dividing, you multiply. 2 times 3 is 6, 5 times 2 is 10, and then you have to simplify into to write the simplest form of the fraction. Now let's summarize the steps of multiplying and dividing mixed numbers. As we said, we can't multiply or divide mixed numbers until we convert them into improper fractions. First, 1 and 3 over 4. 1 times 4 becomes 4, plus 3 is 7. 7 over 4, as we said, denominators don't change, times 2.5 becomes 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5 over 2. Then you multiply the numerators together. 7 times 5 is 35 over 8. 35 divided by 8 is 4, and the remainder is a 3. You write it at the top of the fraction. Now, how do we divide mixed numbers? As we said, we convert them into improper fractions first. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 plus 2 is 11. 11 over 3. Divide. 1 times 6 is 6, plus 1 is 7 over 6, and then you will change division into multiplication, and you will write the reciprocal of 7 over 6, which is 6 over 7, and then you multiply normally. You will get 66 over 21, which is a improper fraction. You change it into mixed number, 3 and 1 over 7. Now here is your assignment for today. Thank you for listening.